everyone, welcome to Beginner Pilates lesson number 5. Hope you've been managing to cope okay with lessons 1 to 4. Obviously repeating lesson 1 until you feel happy, then lesson 2 a number of times and so on. So perhaps by the time you're getting up now to lesson 5, you're feeling a little bit more confident and proficient and feeling the benefits. Joseph Pilates used to say it takes up to 6 to 10 sessions before you feel the difference and up to 20 sessions before you see the difference. So hopefully in time you'll start to feel that your body shape is changing and that you're feeling much stronger. But let's crack on with lesson number 5. So a few little extra things different again today. Feet hip width distance, knees soft. We'll just quickly go through your setup. So standing in neutral, wiggle the fingers and toes. And a couple of shoulder shrugs to take your shoulders back and down. Okay, bring your pelvis into neutral, engaging your core muscles, so pulling them in as tightly as you can. Release them halfway, and then a tiny bit more. Engage your pelvic floor, and a couple of breaths, just to remind you to breathe into the ribs. And just take a few seconds to stand tall. Let your spine lengthen and your shoulders relax. Little shuffle about with your feet. Make sure that your body weight is even through both feet. So feeling your big toes, your little toes, and the center of your heels connecting with the floor. Gently turning your head a couple of times to each side. Moving smoothly and slowly. And coming back to the center, dropping your chin to the chest and lifting it back up, down again and back up, moving into the shoulders, so rolling your shoulders, big circles and changing direction. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, so trying to get as much movement into the shoulders as you can. Add the arms, breathe in and out. Nice big stretch through the arms, reaching up, out and down. One more. Changing direction, breathing in and out. Keeping the shoulders down, just moving the arms within your shoulders. Try not to let the body move. One more time. Excellent. Now let's progress your side bend slightly. Place one hand to the hip, other arm out to the side. Reach through that arm, then stretch up and over. So reaching over the top of your head and then release. And again. So reach to one side of the room, stretch up and reach to the other. Your supporting hand on your hip there to help you as you go over. Taking the arm over, arms are heavy, so it's adding a little bit of weight. Feeling the stretch here, and then release, other side. So again, reach, big stretch, up and over. Tilting the head towards the shoulder with each one, encourages a little bit more movement into your spine, but try to keep your hips still and the weight even through both feet. And slowly down, lovely. Okay, let's go back to hands across the chest, knees soft, keeping your hips facing forward. Just let your arms relax there and concentrate on the waist. Breathing out as you twist, breathing in as you straighten. And repeat. Letting your head go that little bit further, if it's okay on your neck. If you have neck problems, just concentrate on turning from the waist. Try and keep your hip bones facing forward. And last two. Last one. And back to the center. Lovely. Now bring your hands to your hips, transferring your weight to one foot. We're going to do a slightly different leg exercise today. The reason for this will become apparent later. So we're going to take the foot out to the side. Just lightly touch the floor. Bring your foot back in, lift your knee, and then replace. So foot goes out, in, lift, and down. Out, in, lift, and down. Keep shoulders down, chest slightly lifted, so trying to maintain neutral the whole time. Now if you find you're a bit wobbly, don't lift the knees so high. Work within your comfort range. One more. And down. Let's repeat to the other side. So mark it through, the foot goes out, in, lift, and lower. So just warming up your hip joint nicely. Keeping neutral to help you with your balance throughout. Remember, your knee doesn't need to come up as high as mine. You might only want to do a little lift, depending if you're a bit wobbly. If you need something to hang on to, have a chair beside you, use your mantelpiece or the wall. If you're doing it in the kitchen, your workbench is ideal height to help you balance. Last one. And relax it down. Good. Give your legs a little bit of a shake. So down to the feet. We're just going to do some heel raises today, but speeding them up a little bit. I'm not that warm this morning, so it'll get me warmed up a bit more. So hands on the hips again to make sure your pelvis stays in neutral. Breathe in, lift your heels, and breathe out lower. Again, just work with where you can manage your balance. So trying not to come up too high, but controlling your ankles. Then lifting and then pulsing up and down, short, sharp little movements, not actually hitting the floor with your heels, but just starting to get some movement into those ankles and your calf muscles. This works all the little joints in your feet. You should feel it start to burn quite quickly into your calves, even up the backs of your legs, into your buttocks, and then relax it down. Good, give your legs a bit of a shake. Excellent. Oh, I can feel that right the way up. Nice. So into your roll down. So feet parallel, knees soft, tummy in. Take a breath in as you breathe out, dropping your chin to the chest and slowly bend. Take your time. Let your head hang. Let your arms relax and hang. Oh, that's lovely. Enjoy. Breathe in at the bottom. Slowly come back up. If your back's a wee bit tight, walk your hands up the legs, keep your knees bent, and rebuild your spine slowly. And repeat. Let the head hang. So it's the weight of the head that takes you down, but trying to curl your spine. Breathe in and slowly but gently pull yourself up. So rebuilding that spine, one vertebrae at a time. Relax the shoulders, lift the chin, and go down into the next one. And breathe, nice deep breaths. Breathing in, and a long breath out to draw yourself up slowly. Let's go for one more, but feel free to do 2 or 3 more if you feel the benefit. I love a roll down. It's so nice on your back. This time we're going to add the hamstring stretch. So find the point that's comfortable to hold. Stay there, straighten the legs, and then just relax. Looking to feel that stretch right up the back of your legs. Hold it and breathe the whole time. So nice deep breaths. We're going to come down onto the mat. So walk the hands forward, lower yourself down onto hands and knees. So bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath your hips. We're going to repeat your push-ups. However, we're going to make it a little bit more challenging today. Bring your hands a little bit further forward. Bring your body weight forward onto your hands. You can lift your feet and cross your ankles if you want to. Keep neutral. We're going to hinge from the knees this time, bringing your elbows towards your knees. Now remember, they don't have to be big. So breathe in and breathe out, push. See, mine aren't very big. Breathing in, breathe out to push up. Try and do them slowly. It's actually better to do them slowly and keep them small than to try and do great big ones quickly. Remember, we want to work your deep muscles, not the surface muscles, the superficial muscles. So breathe in and breathe out. Bring the elbows towards your knees, don't let them go out. So tuck them in round, so as you bend, they come towards your knees. Let's go for 3 more. And 2. Last one. And relax. Stretch out into child pose. And relax. Now we're going to come forward onto your front. We're going to do your swan dives, which we did in lesson 4, but this time we're going to do it with your hands in a slightly different position. So as you lower yourself onto your mat, onto your front, put your hands either side of your mat. So this is actually called an open windows position. Legs relaxed if possible, but if you do feel you have to bring them together and squeeze, please do. So hands, your thumbs should be level with the top of your head, elbows level with your armpit, on the floor rather than on your mat, otherwise you end up like this, scrunching into the shoulders. So nice and wide. Forehead on the floor, chin tucked in. So tummy in, breathe in, light pressure, no pressure through the hands. Breathe out, lift your chest, head and shoulders, and breathe in lower. Now the hands are there for a reason. If you can, without using your shoulders too much, as you lift the chest, let your arms and hands hover off the floor. They don't have to be high, remember, just needs to be off the mat. Three more if possible. And last one. And then rest. Ooh, tough. I always find these back exercises challenging. Really good for here. This is where you should be feeling these muscles working. If it's painful here, you need to squeeze your legs together. Let's release with a cat stretch. So push up onto your hands and knees, arching your spine. So big stretch, so you're stretching out these muscles. Take it the other way. Arching again. And one more time. Push your tailbone to the ceiling and look up. And then release. Okay, let's come into sitting position. We're going to repeat your half roller with the twist. Practice makes perfect. Feet parallel, knees bent. We're going to try and do it with your arms out in front. However, if you're still needing to put them behind the backs of your knees, please do. The secret is to focus on the tilt and the curl, not how far back you go. If you go too far back with a straight back, your feet will lift. We don't want that, remember, we want to control your roll up. So feet flat, knees soft, knees bent, pointing up. Hip width distance, so legs are parallel, right up to your hips. Arms out in front, sit up tall. Tummy in, breathe in, tilt your pelvis. It forms a C shape. Roll back, halfway. Hold, breathe in, breathe out, round forward, and sit up straight. Repeat. So find that C shape. So you've tucked your tail under. As you roll back, you should be resting onto your sacrum, which is the flat bit at the bottom of your spine. Breathe out, round forward, and sit up straight. Beautiful. And again, you might find if you're tight in your ankles, you have to let your feet lift, but try and keep your heels down. So let the toes come up, but keep your heels on the mat. So breathe out as you roll back. Relax the shoulders, look at your knees, breathe in, breathe out, round forward, and restack. Now let's add a twist. So we did the twist in lesson 4 with your arms here. We're going to add a progression. Now, as I said before, arms are heavy. They're going to pull you back. Use your core, control it. So tilt the pelvis. As you start to roll back, twist. Take one hand behind you, follow it with your eyes. Bring it back as you round forward and restack. Repeat to the other side. We're looking for flowing movement this time. So twist, the arm goes back, bring it back as you round forward, sit up straight. Watch for the legs wanting to help counterbalance by twisting in the opposite direction to your body. So try and keep them under control. And again, nearly there. Last 2. And come back, sit up straight. Last 1. And back. Stretch your legs out. Lift up out of the hips, reach forward into spine stretch. You can pull the toes towards you if it feels good to get the extra stretch up the back of your legs. This is the bit really that you're looking to stretch. Hold. And come out of it gently. And again, lift up out of your hips, reach forward. And come back out. And one more. Lift up and reach forward. And release. Lovely. Bend your knees. We're going to go all the way to the floor. You could just use your arms, lower yourself down, but you should be getting a little bit stronger now that you can start to control the journey down. So tilt your pelvis, roll your spine slowly to the mat. Try not to collapse. If you need your elbows to help you, pop your arms back. And go straight into your full body stretch. Oh, that feels good after all that. Lovely. So into your base position, bending your knees so your feet are flat. Quick recap, shoulders back and down. Checking you're in neutral, your hip bones and pubic bone should be level. Little block under your head if you need it, or a folded up towel. You should have a little hollow in the small of your back. So your spine has found that natural curve. Feet hip width distance apart, but not too close to your hips. Bring your hands to your thighs. We're going to repeat your curl-ups with the 100. We're only going to do 4 little curl-ups as preparation, as we've already done some half roll-ups, so that'll have got your abdominals working, and then we'll go into the 100. Breathe in to prepare. As you breathe out, tuck the chin in, slide the hands up towards your knees as you lift the head and shoulders. Breathe in as you lower. And repeat for 2. Just lifting to the tips of your shoulder blades. Connect with the mat. So we're not trying to lift the rib cage off the mat. We're trying to get this bit to work. If you try to come up too high before you're strong enough, you just use your neck. 1 more. And down. Rest the hands by your sides. Let's go into the 100. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, float one leg up into tabletop. Hold if you can. Bring the other leg up beside it. And breathe. 10 long, slow breaths. If you want to add the curl up this time, see if you can hold the curl up. So tuck the chin in, lift your head and shoulders, reach the hands past your hips and hold. And breathe in and out. Keep your chin tucked in. So looking straight between your inner thighs. Count your breaths. Remember, we're aiming for 10 breaths. As slowly as you can. Halfway. If you start to get a little bit shaky, you could put the head down, relax the arms, and go back to lifting into the curl up to breathe in and lower down to breathe out. 4 more. If you're happy to hold, stay there for the remainder of your breaths. As you go up and down though, just be aware that your spine is not lifting or trying to arch away from the mat. Don't press it into the floor. Use your ribs. 1 more. And relax it down. Oh, that was tough today. Stretch, full body stretch. Remember, if you do start to shake or tremble, that's the body telling you that's enough. If you get too shaky, you just end up too sore over the next couple of days. We try not to get to the point where you are very, very sore. You should only feel slight discomfort for a maximum of 24 hours. If it's any more than that, you've done too much. Okay, let's roll onto your side. We're going to do a little bit of side kick. Coming up onto the bony part of the hip, stretching your legs out. Use your arm as a pillow. You might want to put your arm in that position. Head on a block, arm out in front, whatever feels comfortable. Make sure when you look down, you can see your toes. Now engage your tummy, breathe in as you breathe out, squeeze your legs together. Lift both legs off the floor, lengthening and stretching through the legs. We are going to use that little movement we did in your warm-up in this position. A little bit more challenging for the hip, your lower back and your abs. So try and keep the bottom leg still as you breathe out. Just float the top leg up and down. We're going to aim for 10. It doesn't have to be massive. I'm not asking you to take your leg vertical. So breathe out and in. And 5. Halfway, well done, keep going. It will start to burn. Keep checking that the bottom leg is lifted. If you do start to struggle though, make the range of movement smaller, or you could put the bottom leg down. Avoid rolling back onto your buttock. You should feel it here, not here. So if you're twisting slightly, you'll feel the quads will kick in. We want the side of the leg to be doing the work. Let's go for 1 more. I've lost count as usual. And then relax. Bend the knees. Perfect. We're going to repeat your lateral thigh opener. Heels lined up with your tailbone. Hand to the hip. Push your hip to your heels. Gauge your tummy. Breathe out, lift your top knee. And breathe in lower. Because you've just done those leg raises, you will feel it more in your thigh. Hand can go here if you're not sure whether your pelvis is rolling backwards as you lift your knee. Same breathing. Out to lift, in to lower. Remember, we breathe out mainly on effort. Breathe in to release. As you breathe out, you empty your lungs, lift your diaphragm, engage your abdominals, which makes them work a little bit more voluntarily without you having to pull in too tight. Remember, 30% is all it needs to be. Excellent. 2 more. And rest. Well done. Give it a little rub if necessary. You could do your quad stretch here just to release, but we are going to stay in this position to do another little rotation exercise. This is a new one for you. This is called a chest opener. So for your chest opener, ideally you want both arms out in front of you. However, if you struggle a little bit with your neck, bend your arm and just support the back of your head with your hand. So I'll show you that option first. The important bit is to focus on keeping your pelvis still and your knees tight together. Breathe in as you breathe out. Lift this top arm up towards the ceiling. Follow it with your eyes, but you push your knees into the mat as you take the hand behind you. Catch your head with this hand. Breathe in, breathe out, bring it slowly back. Working from the waist. So it's very similar to what we did in a half roll-up position, but you're keeping your spine in neutral. We're just aiming to twist from the waist. This opens up the chest. Breathe out. Reach that hand behind. Let your head go with it though. Don't keep looking at the video. Follow the hand with your eyes so that the head rolls. Catch the head with your hand. If you can do it without, just let your head roll along the floor. I usually find after 2 or 3 reps that becomes more manageable as everything loosens up. And last one. Usually just do these in sets of 5. And then come back. Excellent, lovely exercise. Let's do that all again on the other side. Roll over, swap ends of the mat, whatever feels manageable for you. Stretch the legs out. So I'm going to do your side kick with thigh raisers first. Make sure you can see your toes, get right up onto that hip, so your hips are stacked, your shoulders are stacked. Hand on the mat in front. When you're in the right position, squeeze your legs together, gauge your tummy and lift both legs. Hold. Just have a quick check, make sure your shoulders are relaxed. Breathe out, lift the top leg, breathe in low. Again, we're going to go for 10. And 4. Well done. 5. Now, as you're lifting the leg, just keep your knee and your toes pointing forward. So if you roll slightly at the waist, your knee will go up. So if that's what's happening, just make sure you're right up on that hip. Like before, if there's a member of the family around, get them to check that you're in the right position. Last one. And come down gently. Always easier on this side for me. Into position for your lateral thigh opener. So bend your knees, line up the knees with your tailbone. Hand to the hip, push your hip to your heels. Breathe out, lift the knee, breathe in lower. Hand can be here to act as if you were having your hips against a wall. And breathe all the way through it. Out as you lift, in as you lower. Squeeze your buttocks, use your tummy muscles. Don't let the pelvis roll. This hand is really good to let it know whether you're moving. You should be completely still so all the work comes from your hip. Really starting to feel that now, especially having just done the thigh raisers. 3 more. And 2. And last one. Excellent. Quad stretch to release. And relax. Feet back together, keeping your knees and hips stacked into your chest opener. So either just bend that arm, or if you can, bring it out in front. My right shoulder is actually slightly smaller than my left, so I find it much more comfortable on this side with the arms out in front. So again, keep your hips still, knees together, breathe in. As you breathe out, float that top arm up towards the ceiling. Follow it with your eyes, reach far back behind you. Watch these knees, don't let them lift. Breathe in, breathe out slowly, come back. Restacking the palms as the hands come back together. As you're going backwards, again, follow the hand with your eyes, push your knees together, press them into the floor, feel the stretch here and across the chest. And slowly back. Stacking the shoulders on that return journey. Float the arm up and over and back. So letting the head roll, but not letting your knees lift or your hips move. And number 4. Breathe in and breathe out. And 5. Again, press the knees together, don't let the hips join in. And slowly back. Well done. Roll back onto your back into a knees to chest stretch to release. Again, lifting the head and shoulders if it's comfortable, or just pulling the knees in, having a little gentle roll from side to side. Now we're going to stay with the arms. I'm going to give you a new exercise today, which is about opening up your chest. You can do this with weights if you want to, but we're just going to do it without today. It really is a useful little exercise to do after the opening chest that you've just done. But also if you're finding that you're struggling with things like your diamond press, your dart and your swan dive, because this helps open up the front of the chest to help draw the shoulders down the back to help you lift your chest. So this is called open windows. Take your arms straight up in front, your palms face your knees. Very important that your hands are pointing that way towards your knees and feet. Now bend your elbows, bring them down each side of the body, hoping to get the elbows to rest on the mat. Watch your spine doesn't lift away from the floor, then just take the backs of the hands towards the floor. Hold. Now I can obviously get my hands on the floor, you might not. You might only be there, that's okay. This is where you should feel the stretch. Lift your hands and then lift your arms. Don't be tempted to rotate them in, keep your palms to your knees. So bend, press your ribs down, backs of the hands to the floor. Lift your hands, lift your arms. And repeat, keep going. So bend, take them back, watch the chin, don't stick it up, tuck it in. But try not to put any pressure into your throat. Excuse me. And bend the elbows. Now once you've got your hands back, don't be frightened to turn the head, have a look, see where the positions of your arms are, so that you've got those right angles at the armpit and at the elbow. Your body will cheat by bringing the hands in here or out here. You won't get the benefit. This movement is the important bit. It's getting the backs of the hands to the floor. So as those arms move, it rotates the shoulders. It opens up the front of the chest. This is where you should feel it. It should be starting to get easier. By the time you've done about 8 to 10 repetitions, you might even find your hands are starting to rest on the floor. So if you do feel very tight and restricted across the chest, you could do this with some little hand weights. If you don't have any hand weights, a couple of cans of baked beans will do the same thing. They're roughly £1 each. So it's the equivalent of our small weights that we have in the studio, which are ½ kilo. Or if you're feeling ambitious, you could try a couple of bags of sugar, which is 2 kilos, 2 pounds, 2.2 isn't it, for a kilo, which is the weight of our pink weights that we use in the studio. Love this exercise. Let's go for one more, if you're still going. Lift, and then bring the arms back down. to stay in this position and move straight into the next exercise, going down to the legs again. Staying in that neutral position, palms down. We're going to do another new exercise today. This one is called scissors. If you're new to Pilates or to me, you'll get to know in time this is my favorite exercise. Love the open windows. This I love even more. We're going to start to work this part of the body again, so we're down to those tummy muscles. Let's do the movement with one leg, then repeat with the other leg, and then see if we can put them together. So your leg position is tabletop, of course, the knees above the hip, shin parallel to the ceiling. We've created two right angles, one at the knee, one at the hip. Focus on keeping your knee joint in that position. Breathe in as you breathe out. Hinge from the hip. Take your foot down, tap the floor and lift it back up. Don't let the knee come past your hip. You can use your hand as a marker so that you know where it should be, so that it doesn't come past the hip. If your knee should come too far back, what happens is your pelvis tilts, pushes your back into the mat, can put pain or discomfort into your lower back. Remember, we want to relax the back and use your abdominals. Let's repeat with the other leg. So foot comes down. You can rest your hands on the hip bones if you want to. It lets you know whether your pelvis is rocking. Second leg up, right angle at the hip, right angle at the knee. Move from the hip, breathe out, take the foot down, breathe in, lift. So doing a few repetitions with the legs singly gives you a chance to perfect the movement. It's obviously much easier than both legs, but it makes you more aware of what's moving and which muscles are working. So you want to be feeling that these are working to stop your pelvis from rocking. You may also feel it in your thighs. Okay, let's try and put it together. Now, if you find it's too much or if it hurts your back, repeat the singles. So another 4 on each side, individually. To do both legs together, lift your feet one at a time. We alternate the feet, hence the name scissors. Foot goes down and lift. Breathe out, breathe in, lift. Try and move the leg from your hip to touch the floor. Try not to bend your knee. So a common mistake is to just concentrate on trying to touch the floor and just bending the knee. That's cheating. Your thighs are doing the work. Get the knee to come down so that all the work is coming from your abs, making these thighs work. Really good exercise for strengthening knees. So if you do have knee problems, this is a great one to do along with the lateral thigh opener that we were doing. Watch these shoulders, don't let them lift. Press your ribs down. So all these muscles are having to work. Oh, can really feel it now, right down here. You can do it as slowly as you want to, but try and do it on the breath. Out as you lower, so these get to work a bit more. In as you lift. 2 more on each leg, if you're still going strong. It's too much, it hurts your back, your spine is arching, go back to singles. It will come, it just takes a bit of practice. Bring the feet down. Oh, you need to stretch. Legs out, arms over your head, and stretch. Oh, lovely. Let the stretch go down into your tummy. Ooh. Okay. We need to bend your back the other way, so legs bent. Let's finish off before your stretches with your shoulder bridge. So feet flat, heels a little bit closer to your hips, hands down by your sides. We're going to repeat the one we did in lesson 4, adding the heels. Breathe in, tilt the pelvis, press your lower back into the mat. Squeeze the buttocks as you lift your hips up into bridge. Hold. Breathe in, take both arms up and over, leaving the arms there. As you breathe out, roll your spine down slowly. one vertebrae at a time. Pressing your lower back into the mat, rolling your pelvis back to neutral, and then bring your arms back. If you found that was a bit too much, first thing, remember you could just do your little pelvic tilts with a little lift. If you're quite happy, move into the next one. So peel up nice and slowly. Squeeze your bum, press your hips to the ceiling. Watch the knees are not dropping out. Try and keep the legs parallel. Arms up and over. Burn pressure through both feet. Roll the spine down slowly. One vertebrae at a time. Press your lower back into the mat. Roll back to neutral. And then bring your arms back. Let's add the heels. Breathe in, tilt. Squeeze your buttocks. Peel the spine up into bridge. Hold. Lift your heels. Arms go up and over. Keep the heels lifted and roll your spine down slowly, pressing your lower back into the mat. Rolling back to neutral. Arms back, heels down. 2 more. Tilt. Slowly up. So mobilizing the spine. Arms up and over. Stretch the arms along the mat. Gives you a little bit more stretch into your back as you roll your spine down. And having lifted the heels, you should literally get that lumbar spine as close to the mat as possible. Roll back to neutral. Heels down. Arms back. Well done. One more time. Tilt. Peel up slowly. Firm pressure through the feet at this point. Arms over. Lift your heels. And roll down slowly. Push your back into the mat. Roll back. Heels down. Arms back. Hip flexor stretch to release. And change legs. And release. Excellent. Inner thigh stretch. Soles the feet together. Let your knees drop. 1 to each side. Arms up and over your head if it's comfortable. But just be aware you're not arching. Keep pressing the ribs down, keeping neutral, but relax the legs into the stretch. So nice deep breaths. Okay, bringing the knees back together, bring your arms back. Right foot onto the left knee, outer thigh stretch or piriformis stretch. Push the knee away with the hand or both hands through behind your left leg and gently pull. Hopefully you're getting a little bit further with this one and you can actually get the hands behind your leg now. So you get a little bit more stretch right down into your hip. And change legs. Again, that's your easy option, or both hands behind your right leg and pull. Oh, it's fab. Press the shoulders down, try and get the head on the floor if possible, pulling the knee towards your right shoulder so that you don't twist. And then relax. Bring your feet to the floor, feet a little bit wider, hands to the hips, and relax. Eyes closed if you prefer. So nice deep breath. And out. Letting yourself relax and sink down into your mat. Wiggle the fingers and toes just to relax them. Relax your calf muscles, your thighs, and let your hips sink down into the floor. Relaxing your arms and let go of your shoulders. Let your head gently roll a couple of times to each side, nice and gently, and then back to the center. Check you're not frowning or gritting your teeth, so relaxing your jaw, and just focus on your breath going in and out. And with each breath out, relax and let go a little bit more. Trying not to let your mind wander, so attempting to clear your mind of any thoughts. But should a thought come into your mind, just acknowledge it and send it away. Focus on the breathing in and out. Letting yourself sink down into the floor. So just giving yourself 2 or 3 minutes just to relax. Calm the body down after the exercises and the stretching. But when you feel ready to move again, wiggle the fingers and toes just to let your brain know that you're going to move. Have a stretch, whatever stretch feels comfortable. And taking your time, roll onto your side and push yourself up into a sitting position. Use your arms. And again, breathe and take your time before you stand up. Well done, everybody. Hope you found those little few extra exercises a little bit more interesting and a little challenging. Remember, repeat this session as many times as you feel you need to before you move on to the next one. Lesson 6 will be coming up very soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.